New recruit to discuss here, a Purdue offer that is new as well. Mr. Ralph Scott, an IMG Academy kid, 6'7", four-star small forward, the 35th ranked player in the class of 2026 right now. But this is a kid here that, this is kind of not in the Matt Painter pipeline, as I would call it. Now, not to say IMG Academy can't be a place where you can end up finding your way to Purdue. In fact, am I tripping? Didn't Zach Edey play at IMG's like B team?
So yes, and you know who else played for the IMGB team last year was Ralph Scott.
There we go.
He did not
Okay.
play. He
So
wasn't on their national team. I believe I read it was called the Varsity Gold Team or something like that. I assumed it was their B team, but yeah, that's like Matt Painter going back to the well. But this time he wants his Ralph.
it's insane that you have the 35th ranked player in a class on the B team, but I guess that's what happens at IMG Academy. I've been to IMG Academy, by the way. Incredible facilities. I really wanted to like go back in time and take tennis more seriously and see if I could get
I was
there.
gonna say, is there an alternate universe where you are just like a tennis star in Bradenton, Florida, living it up at IMG?
That would be my dream. It really would. Shout out to Carlitos. But anyways, so Ralph Scott, fun player. The reason I was going down the path of saying it's not in the Purdue pipeline, IMG ties aside. I just feel like we've seen Painter expand his recruiting footprint this cycle a little bit. Colbin Landry was one we talked about this as well. Like he's willing to go into SEC territory and be like, hey, I'm Matt Painter. We're Purdue. Come play for us.
Hmm.
That hasn't always been usual. I mean, we know that he's always going to have a chance with anybody in the state and really anybody in the Midwest. But as we stand in Ralph Scott's recruitment right now, again, top 40 kid in the class of 2026, most of his offers are from way outside of the Midwest. He's got Syracuse, Tennessee, Texas A&M, Houston, Georgetown, LSU, Oregon, Texas, amongst others. So this is one where Matt Painter again is kind of going into a kid who is from a different area, not looking in the general area of Big Ten basketball at all, and being like, "Hey, I want you. Let's see what happens." So we've never talked about Ralph Scott on the channel. Let's give his game breakdown first. What are your thoughts on Mr. Scott?
Yeah, first off, love that his name is Ralph. I would have never expected there'd be a 18-year-old kid anywhere named Ralph. Like I thought that was just the name of a bygone era. But yeah, Ralph's game. So I did a little bit of research on his background. He was born in Connecticut, grew up in Bermuda, and seems like he exploded this past summer at the NBA Academy Games in Atlanta. Played, I believe, with an Islands team, or it's called like the Purple Select. But you can watch any of those games on YouTube. You can find highlights as well. And I think he looks really polished offensively. Like he moves well without the ball, doesn't really waste any movements or over dribble when he's on the ball. Good looking, if not, even though it's like not a perfect jumper, but a good looking jumper that I believe would be projectable. And I just think that 6'7" size is legit. Like he looked bigger than pretty much everybody else on the perimeter in these games. And so I have some questions defensively. I think he put up some nice block numbers. A couple of those academy games, he put like 3 or 4 blocks, but looks a little bit undisciplined on that end in terms of what I watched with like more full game highlights and full game clips where he'll get out of position a little bit in isolation defense, he'll bite on some pump fakes, but he has the tools with that length and with that size. So I think when you factor that in, plus we'll see what he does at IMG this year. But I mean, we've seen a lot of good college players and NBA players come out of the NBA Academy games or the programs, whether it's Jeremy Sohan, Johnny Furphy, Tyrese Proctor, Kama Malawach, Jacob Furphy. I believe all those guys had some NBA Academy ties, if not went through the whole program. So I'm really intrigued by him and to see how his game advances. And in terms of what he can do at Purdue, I mean, you'll find a coach who will learn how to optimize you offensively and put you in those positions to play into your strengths and develop any shortcomings. So I like that Painter's going in on this kid. In some ways, Greg, I wonder if he could be like what Miles Colvin was supposed to be. You know, the
Mm.
the wing with some ball handling ability, who was supposed to give you some 3-point shooting and defense with good athleticism. Maybe you squint, you see an NBA player ranked similarly at this point in their high school careers, but obviously it didn't really work out for Colvin. But maybe Scott, if he ends up in West Lafayette, maybe he lives up to that pedigree.
I don't hate that at all in terms of like what Colvin was supposed to be, bouncy athlete that can make shots from outside, 3 and D type player, but also they wanted Colvin to develop into more of like a secondary shot creator as well. That never came
I
to
think
fruition.
Ralph could be that too. Yeah.
Yeah, Ralph I think definitely could be that. I'm afraid of how much I like this kid's tape.
Hmm.
Now, I would like to put the caveat on this that I haven't been able to find much tape. Have you? Like, am I missing like a treasure trove of like where you're supposed to find Ralph Scott stuff? Because like normally when there's a top 40 kid in a class, you just Twitter search his name, go to videos, and there's thousands of clips of this kid. There's
Right.
nothing on Ralph Scott.
With him, you got to find like the NBA Academy stuff.
Yeah. And he's from Bermuda, right? So I think
Mhm.
some of this is just there's probably not as much available. Now, the bulk of what I've been able to watch on Ralph Scott, let me just preface this with this. So before I start screaming praiseworthy things that sound crazy, I want everyone to know where the video is that I watch so that maybe you can watch it and tell me if you have the same crazy takeaways. Ralph Scott has tweeted one video from his own Twitter account. It's Basketball Without Borders 2025 camp highlights, comma, where I was named MVP.
Let's go,
So
Ralph. Talk that talk, Ralph.
Ralph was the MVP of the Basketball Without Borders 2025 camp. You watch this video, it's like 3 minutes long. He's everywhere. Number one, doing everything. He's not a one-trick pony. Now, you talked about you think he's real 6'7" frame, big frame. Yeah, I think he might be bigger. I think he might not be done growing from what I've seen. Almost 20% of the clips in this video, again, it's a highlight reel. Almost 20% of the clips in this video are him blocking shots at the rim. He's a 6'7" small forward.
Mhm.
I mean, he's like there's massive rim protection upside here from a wing, which is crazy. The shot looks good and fluid. He shoots off the dribble. He has a quick release. There's no issues whatsoever with the form. I think he can get a shot off from anywhere. He's comfortable pulling up 1-2 dribbles in the mid range for fadeaways. He makes a bunch of those in these clips. Pick and roll needs as a passer. It looked like he was playing point guard for his team on offense and then coming down with a 6'7" frame, reading the defense, throwing a bounce pass through traffic for a dunk. And then on the flip side, looks like he can guard fives and block shots. I don't know who to compare him to. I was trying to watch these clips and do our usual like make the comparison thing. And when I watch his jumper, I see Max and Cam Christie, like just fluid textbook form, big frame. When I watch his rim protection, I'm trying to even come up with like a 6'7" guy that blocks shots at the rim. It kind of reminded me of what DeBonsa looked like at the FIBA event this summer, where he's like a 6'8" wing, but was used as a rim protector.
Mhm.
And then he's running point, and I see like Karis LeVert with the handle. So yeah, you just heard me compare a 4-star wing that's ranked 37th in the class to Karis LeVert mixed with Max Christie mixed with AJ DeBonsa. The summary here is that Matt Painter done did it again. Matt Painter swooped in and looked at a list for a kid that I think is clearly going to exceed his 4-star ranking and said, "Oh, I just got to beat Rick Barnes. Let me make a phone call."
So yes, I think the highlights make him look very good. Where I would recommend for you next in your Ralph Scott deep dives, as you're on the hunt for some Ralph Scott tape, Purdue fans out there, if you're listening, I recommend this for you as well. Just search NBA Academy Games 2025 on YouTube. There's a playlist. The very first game on the playlist is the Purple Select team, who Ralph played for. And again, you see like some of the rebounding and passing flashes immediately within the first 2 minutes of the game. But see, I still will stand on, even with some of the rim protection, I'd like to see him be a little more disciplined in that perimeter defense when he's guarding someone one on one. Think that can come in time, but yeah, because I initially watched the highlights too. I did look at some of his stats from the NBA Academy games, and there was, I think, the Purple Selects team biggest win. He played 19 minutes and scored 5 points. So maybe don't like plan the draft party just yet, Greg.
Okay.
As you're comparing him to AJ
So he's
DeBoss.
not AJ DeBonsa mixed with Karis LeVert. Okay. Damn.
At this point, no, but
Damn.
he still is someone who like just when I first watched his highlights, I was like, okay, I really like this kid. I see a lot of skill here, and the size seems legit. And there's some real things with the ball handling, with the processing, the playmaking, all of that.
You know what we can do? This is our get out of jail free card, and Purdue fans might agree with me on this. All we have to do is add Miles Colvin to his comparison list, and you already comped him to that, and now
Mhm.
it's our get out of jail free card. He's AJ DeBonsa mixed with Karis LeVert mixed with Max Christie mixed with Miles Colvin.
So will he be the will he result in being more like the three guys who were top 40 NBA picks, two of them first rounders, or will he result with the guy who transferred to Wake Forest? Yeah, there's a wide variety of outcomes for Ralph, and he hasn't even committed to Purdue yet, but I hope he does.
Yeah, which honestly, like in hindsight, you got to remember part of this is where do you go for development? And clearly, like we don't know what DeBonce is going to develop into, but if you go play for John Beeline, he'll help you get to the NBA. If you go play for Tom Izzo, he'll help you get to the NBA. And if you go play for Matt Painter, he'll help you get to Winston-Salem.
I
Purdue fans,
appreciate.
I had to take a shot there, right? That you know how rare it is I get an opportunity to do that? It's crazy.
You're taking some heat off of Tanner when they got the ire after calling Painter overrated. Now it's like Greg, you stayed out of the limelight for most hated for a little bit. Shout out to Dior Johnson, most hated. But I'm glad that you're going for that mantle again.
Dude, he's a 6'7" wing named Ralph. He's obviously going to Purdue.
That is
Okay.
such. He checks every Purdue box. Get it done, Painter.